Amazon.pl. What's the website for that?
Amazon.pl.
I have to order something really cool.
Hi, we're Zawadzki and welcome to our channel. Last year we did a video about Zenit camera, you can check it here and also in the description below. And today we want you to forget about the camera and look at the lens that came with it. You can actually buy it very cheaply, the lens itself. It's called Helios 44-2 and we used it attached to the modern mirrorless camera.
So this is actually a lens with the adapter. The lens itself is quite small. The adapter also is quite small. Together they look like this. And this adapter in our case attaches to the Sony cameras, but you can buy another mounts if you use another system. Quite handy.
So we actually had two of these lenses because we had two Zenit cameras at home, but you can buy it really cheaply. So together with the adapter like this, you can buy it for around 44 euro. It's really affordable. So for the short history introduction of this lens, Helios 44 was actually a series that was mass-produced in Soviet Union between 1958 and 1999. It was actually considered to be one of the most mass-produced lenses in history.
It came in, I think, 4 modes: first edition, second edition, third edition and fourth edition. Ours is actually the second edition and I think it's the most popular one.
What can be interesting for some, this lens was based on the Zeiss Biotar lens made in Germany.
So now for the look. What image does this lens produce? Is it good for photos? Can you handle the manual focusing? Let's see. Some of the key characteristics of this lens, I think, can be described as creative because it has this crazy swirly bokeh. At the center they are quite round, but then around they are like this sweet little vignette. That's quite original. The 58mm length of this lens is a little bit to the side of the telephoto from the nifty 50, so it's quite good for me because, you know, I'm a huge fan of telephoto. It gives a nice twist to your portraits and you can have a little bit more of a close-ups. But it also has some creative issues, I might say, which can be also treated as flaws because its focus is quite soft. Even if you nail the focus, nowadays lenses are pretty sharp and the images are crisp, but this is not the case with this lens. Also, when it comes to contrast, it's lowered, especially when the subject is backlit. When you have any light source hitting your lens, it produces crazy flares, even the halo effects, and it lowers contrast very, very much. So if you go for the punchy look, this is not the lens for you. But the look from this lens can be considered or described as filmy. So when you imitate the cinema look or the film look, it works really, really well.
Yes, I think this is really great for all kinds of creative uses. For example, all the flares that looks like your subject can be an angelic being or something. It can give you a lot of additions that, you know, you can use for your project, and it can expand your creativity and maybe you can, you know, use all of these elements for your advantage. It's good to have fun with it. I think it's like, instead of saying, my gosh, it's like, it's ruined or something, let's look at it as, that's nice.
We talked about image, and what about the technicalities and specifications of this lens? So f2 aperture gives it a quite nice starting point for low light photography, and paired with 58mm focal length, it creates nice shallow depth of field. The lens is of course manual, so the focusing can be quite tricky. Also, you need to turn around pretty much to focus from the nearest point to the furthest point. And while you may look for the filmic look or analog look, the lowered contrast, especially in backlit photos, can be also seen as disadvantage or even a flaw. The same goes with flares. If you don't want them, you don't want to use this lens for every job.
I wouldn't use this lens for any job, unless someone told you, please use this old lens and I want to look like an angel.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's definitely for the purposes that you are sure that it will be delivered with this look.
We are talking about photos, I think, mainly, because
Yeah.
for the video, for film, it's a bit of a different topic.
Yes, yes. It may be a whole different topic, but it actually is quite popular and it's getting traction right now because of this analog look. It's vintage and, you know, this is something different, and in film industry especially, this vintage look is now quite popular. So if you're thinking of filming with this lens, we tried that and it's awesome.
We can do a video about it as well, maybe in the future.
I hope we will.
When it comes to the adapter, we bought it online. It was quite cheap. We didn't buy it on Amazon, as we stated in the intro. That was just reference to one of our favorite movies, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. For us in Poland, it's really easy to access it, but I think it's easy to access everywhere. So we really recommend finding these cheap elements that you can buy that can elevate other cheap elements that can help you with your creative photographic journey. Especially that lenses are extremely expensive. So this is like a fresh air for little money.
And let's leave it at that.
Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, give us a like, thumbs up. If you want to see more about this topic, then click subscribe, and we'll hope to see you in one of our next videos. So thanks again, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.